Chapter 1: A World of Stardom. Sava Johnson, a young girl with a heart full of dreams and a voice that could move mountains, lived in the shadow of her parents' illustrious careers. Her mother, Celeste Johnson, was a pop icon, and her father, Lucas Sullivan, a revered rock star. Lucas Sullivan, a rebellious and talented musician, grew up in the gritty streets of a small town. With a burning passion for rock music, he formed a band that would soon ignite the music scene with their explosive performances. Through countless late nights and tireless dedication, Lucas and his band clawed their way to fame, leaving a trail of electrifying melodies and a growing fan base in their wake. And in the glamorous world of pop music, Celeste Johnson dazzled audiences with her mesmerizing voice and captivating stage presence. From her humble beginnings as a young girl singing in local talent shows, Celeste's star burned brighter, and her name became synonymous with pop music royalty. Lucas and Celeste's paths crossed one fateful night at a star-studded event, where their magnetic chemistry sparked a whirlwind romance. However, the road to their happiness was paved with challenges. The pressures of fame, constant media scrutiny, and their own personal demons tested the strength of their relationship. Despite the turbulence in their lives, Lucas and Celeste welcomed their first child, Sava, into the world, and later Aaron. Aaron, born into a life of privilege, struggled with the weight of expectations and the temptations that came with his family's wealth. On the other hand, growing up in a world of fame and glamour, Sava admired her mother's success and longed to follow in her footsteps. The stage beckoned to her, and she developed an insatiable passion for singing. Sava's childhood was filled with the melodies of her parents' music. She would sit by the piano as her mother's fingers danced across the keys, and she would watch her father strum his guitar, sending electrifying riffs through the air. Their music was a symphony that resonated deep within Sava's soul, igniting a passion that would shape her future. As Sava grew older, she realized that she had a voice of her own, one that longed to be heard. She began to experiment with singing, writing her own lyrics, and even learning to play various instruments. Her parents, recognizing her natural talent, encouraged her to pursue her dreams. In the following months, Sava worked tirelessly in the recording studio, honing her skills and creating her own unique sound. Her parents, always by her side, offered guidance and support, sharing their wisdom and experiences. Together, they formed an unbreakable bond, a musical legacy that would transcend generations. Under the watchful eye of renowned choreographers, Sava is pushed to her physical limits. She trains tirelessly, perfecting her dance moves and mastering intricate choreography. The demanding rehearsals and strict discipline test her endurance and dedication, but Sava remains resolute, fueled by her burning desire to emulate her mother's success. Vocal lessons become a crucial part of Sava's training. With the guidance of a talented vocal coach, she hones her singing skills, exploring the depths of her voice and discovering her unique sound. Through the highs and lows of vocal training, Sava learns to express her emotions through music, finding her own voice amidst the echoes of her mother's stardom. Media training becomes a necessary evil as Sava enters the world of interviews, photo shoots, and public appearances. She learns to navigate the pitfalls of fame, facing intrusive questions, and dealing with relentless scrutiny. With the guidance of a seasoned media coach, Sava discovers the delicate balance between authenticity and protecting her privacy. One fateful day, Sava's mother, Celeste, approached her with an invitation to perform alongside her at a prestigious event. Overwhelmed with excitement, Sava eagerly accepted, believing it to be the perfect opportunity to showcase her talent to a wider audience. Sava was determined to prove herself as a talented artist in her own right, separate from any accusations of nepotism. She knew that this performance was her chance to shine and establish her own unique identity. For weeks leading up to the big day, she dedicated herself to endless rehearsals, fine-tuning her vocals and perfecting her dance moves. However, as the days drew closer to the performance, Sava noticed a shift in her mother's behavior. Celeste began suggesting unusual ideas for the joint performance, including incorporating strange robes and chanting into their act. This perplexed Sava because she had always known her mother to engage in these practices alone, as part of her own artistic expression. Caught between her desire to please her mother and her own artistic aesthetic, the night of the performance arrived. Sava stood backstage, her heart pounding with anticipation, ready to showcase her talent and prove that she was more than just a product of nepotism. As the curtains lifted and the spotlight illuminated the stage, she joined her mother, ready to share the stage with the woman she idolized. But as the performance progressed, Sava couldn't shake off an eerie feeling. The audience seemed entranced, their eyes glazed over with an unnatural intensity. As they continued to sing Celeste's famous song, something still felt off. Sava's eyes scanned the audience once more, and noticed the fans' bodies swaying in unison. It was as if they were under some kind of spell. The lyrics of the song took on a haunting quality, and she noticed her mother's voice change. The lyrics of the song took on a haunting quality, and she noticed her mother's voice change, a mysterious edge creeping into her tone. A chill ran down her spine. When Sava turned to her mother, she was taken aback by what she saw. Celeste's eyes, once vibrant and full of life, had turned pitch black. Fear gripped Sava's heart as she realized that something sinister was at play. This was no ordinary performance. Confused and terrified, Sava struggled to maintain her composure. She continued singing, trying to push aside her growing unease. But deep down, she knew that she had to uncover the truth behind this dark energy and her mother's sudden transformation. Unbeknownst to Sava, this performance was not just an innocent showcase of her talent. It was her indoctrination into something she had no clue of. As Sava basked in the applause and adoration of the crowd, she replayed the performance in her mind. The memory of her mother's eyes turning black haunted her, and the sinister energy she felt during the performance lingered in her thoughts. Fear and uncertainty gripped Sava's heart, but she hesitated to confront her mom. She loved Celeste deeply and admired her as an artist. Perhaps it was just her nerves playing tricks on her, or a figment of her imagination. The thought of accusing her mother of something so dark and unhinged filled her with dread, so she decided against it, realizing how crazy it seemed. But days turned into weeks, and Sava couldn't shake the feeling of unease. She watched her mother perform, as she had done countless times before, but now everything felt different. The artistic eccentricities that once fascinated her now held an air of suspicion. Chapter 2: Unveiling Shadows. Sava stood in front of her family's grand estate mansion, her heart pounding with a mixture of anticipation and trepidation. The events of her mother's live TV performance had left her feeling unsettled, and she was determined to uncover the truth. As she entered the mansion, memories of her childhood flooded her mind, the laughter, the warmth, and her mother's radiant smile. Sava had never questioned anything about her parents, as she always looked up to them and admired them. Her mom was literally not only the world's idol but her own. But Sava knew if she wanted answers to whatever was going on, and without seeming unhinged, she had to start at home with her digging. She made her way through the opulent halls, adorned with portraits of her family and their achievements. Sava's first stop was her parents' room. She knew that if there were any clues to unravel her mother's mysterious behavior, they would be hidden within these walls. As she opened the door, a wave of familiarity washed over her. The room was a sanctuary of her parents' love, filled with memories and personal belongings. She began her search, meticulously going through drawers, cabinets, and closets. However, her efforts yielded no significant findings. Frustration started to creep in, but then Sava's eyes fell upon a peculiar wooden box poking from underneath the bed near her mother's nightstand. With trembling hands, she bends over for the box immediately, opens it and gasped. Chapter 3: The gag inside were dildos and straps chilly. Sava throws the box and straps up in the air in disbelief, falling to her knees. Her mind reeling from the shocking discovery, she didn't even notice the bed had flipped up, revealing a hidden passage beneath. As she lay on the floor, a mix of fear and curiosity coursed through her veins. From the looks of it, it seemed like some sort of huge ancient tunnels with strange markings on the wall leading to something more sinister. With trembling hands, Sava searched for a mechanism or lever to close the hidden passageway. After a few moments of frantic searching, she found a small button hidden discreetly on the wall. She hesitated for a moment, contemplating her next move. The weight of the situation pressed upon her, and Sava decided to close the entrance for now. She pressed the button that seemed to be triggered somehow within the wooden box, and with a low rumble, the bed descended back into its original position, concealing the secret passage once more. Sava took a deep breath, her mind racing with questions and possibilities. Determined to uncover the truth about her mother's strange behavior, Sava turned her attention back to the room. She couldn't help but feel a pang of shock at what she had just unearthed, and also at the sight of the numerous sex toys scattered across the floor. She needed someone to witness what she had just discovered, to validate her sanity and help her unravel the sinister secrets lurking within her own home. She paced back and forth, her mind racing with thoughts of who to call. Her brother, Aaron, was always level-headed, but she didn't want to scare him with such a shocking revelation without being unsure. Besides, he was all the way in Italy vacationing. Then she thought of Kaylynd, her nosy gay ride-or-die best friend. He was always up for an adventure, and she trusted him implicitly. Despite her nervousness about involving him, she knew she needed his support and presence to navigate the unknown. Sava reached for her phone, her fingers trembling. Taking a deep breath, she dialed Kaylyn's number, praying that he would understand and come to her aid. The phone rang, and after a few agonizing moments, Kaylyn's voice filled the air. "Hey, Sava, what's going on?" he asked, curiosity lacing his words. Sava took a deep breath, trying to steady her voice. "Kaylynd, I need your help. It's urgent," she said, the urgency evident in her tone. "What's wrong, Sava?" Kaylynd asked, concern seeping into his voice. "You sound shook, bitch." "I found something beneath my parents' bed," Sava began, her voice quivering with both fear and anticipation. "There's a hidden passage, and I saw something. Something sinister. I need you to come and see it with me." Silence hung in the air for a moment before Kaylynd responded. "Gee wall, something sinister. What in the fuck is going on? A sex chamber, honey? This sounds intense. Maybe we should call someone else, like your brother. Keep this in the family, Chili. My stomach is turned. No. It's not a damn sex chamber, ho," Sava exclaimed, panic lacing her voice. "And I don't want my brother involved. I doubt he'll understand, especially all the way from Italy, and I can't risk him dismissing this as a figment of my imagination. I need you, Kaylynd. Please, come and see for yourself." There was a pause on the other end of the line, and Sava feared that Kaylynd was about to decline. But then, his voice came through, filled with determination. "Okay, Sava girl. Let's see what's going on, Chili. You had me at sinister. I'll be there. Just give me a few minutes." Relief washed over Sava as she hung up the phone. She knew that with Kaylynd by her side, they would face whatever lay behind the hidden passage together. She closed her eyes, trying to steady her racing heart, and waited anxiously for his arrival. Hours late, as usual, the sound of a car pulling up outside her house broke the silence. Sava rushed to the door, her heart pounding with a mix of fear and anticipation. She opened it to find Kalin standing there, a resolute expression on his face. "Let's do this, Miss Thang," he said, his voice filled with determination. "I'm here for you, bitch, no matter what. Now let's see what this sinister tea is, because girl, all this ominous stuff is scaring me down, honey." Chapter 4. What is going on? As Sava ushers Kaylynd to her parents' bedroom, she must explain the urgency of their mission and why involving the police is not an option. Sava is haunted by the belief that the police will dismiss her claims as delusions, leading to her being locked away in a psychiatric ward. However, her fears run even deeper. She suspects that her parents, the Johnsons, are involved in something far more sinister, willing to go to any lengths to protect their secret from being exposed. Unable to contain her curiosity any longer, Sava confessed to Kaylynd about her suspicions. She revealed before she called him over, that sinister thing she was describing, the wooden box that activated a hidden tunnel beneath her parents' bed. Armed with flashlights and a sense of adventure, Sava and Kaylynd decided to explore the secret tunnel. They opened the wooden box and to their amazement, a hidden panel slid open, revealing a dark passageway without Sava having to slip on dildos this time. Chapter 5. The enigma below. As Sava and Kaylynd ventured into the mysterious tunnel, they noticed strange symbols and markings on the walls. The symbols resembled those associated with the infamous Illuminati, sparking their curiosity and sending their imaginations into overdrive. What secrets were hidden within these tunnels, and what did they have to do with the enigmatic secret society? Just as they were about to proceed further into the labyrinth, Sava and Kaylynd found themselves face to face with a foreboding red door. It stood as an impenetrable barrier, separating them from the rest of the passage. Panic set in as they realized the bedroom passage door had closed, and the walls began to close in on them. Frantically searching for a solution, Sava and Kaylynd scoured the cramped space for any clues or mechanisms that might operate the red door. With each passing second, the walls inched closer, leaving them with no choice but to act swiftly. As they explored their surroundings, a rock dislodged, accidentally cutting Sava and causing her blood to drip near the red door. To their astonishment, the moment Sava's blood touched the door, it began to tremble and shake. The realization struck them that the door operated through some kind of blood activation mechanism. With renewed hope, they understood that they needed to use Sava's blood to open the door and halt the impending catastrophe. Reluctantly, Sava offered her blood, willing to sacrifice her own well-being for their escape. As she pressed her bleeding hand against the door, the shaking ceased, and the door slowly swung open, revealing a passage beyond. They had a fleeting moment to tend to Sava's wound before venturing further into the unknown. They were creeped out by the revelation. They wondered why such a macabre mechanism was used to access the passage. Stepping through the open door, Sava and Kaylynd found themselves in a vast underground realm, illuminated by a soft, mysterious light. The air was thick with an ancient energy, and the walls whispered secrets of forgotten times. They realized that this was no ordinary passage but a gateway to a realm of untold wonders and dangers. As they continued their exploration, Sava and Kaylynd began to hear faint whispers echoing through the tunnels. The whispers grew louder and more desperate, turning into haunting screams as they approached what appeared to be candles flickering on the walls. Fear and curiosity propelled them forward to uncover the source of these eerie sounds. Turning the corner, Sava and Kaylynd were confronted with a disturbing sight. They discovered a group of humans, their faces etched with despair, serving as slaves in the hidden tunnels. Shocked and appalled, they realized that this secret passage was not only a physical maze but also a place where people were held against their will. To their dismay, Sava and Kaylynd discovered Sava's brother amidst the enslaved prisoners peeking out with a grin. He was supposed to be in Italy, but instead, he had chosen to involve himself in this twisted underground world. Their shock turned to anger and confusion as they realized the extent of his betrayal. Sava's brother, recognizing the presence of his sister and her friend, called out to his henchmen to apprehend them. Bound and helpless, Sava and Kaylynd found themselves at the mercy of those who had orchestrated this horrifying chamber of horrors. They knew they had to find a way to escape and expose the truth. But what was the truth? What even is this place?